Tem o cupomzinho, tá ligado? Tô lá esquentando a água, velho. Tô lá esquentando a água e eu quero tomar um café agora, senão eu vou ter um treco. Já volto.
If I wanted to be really mean. I suspect it's more, we're more likely to see something like Gatka and Everest, but if we wanted to be mean, I feel like we go north from here.
I do want to add to it that I've never ever casted like a proper full-on Sarky ending, and I feel like
like urban.
It's got like a proper. I mean, it would require an absurd first circle and then 3 hard shifts, but
yes,
technically, it's possible. So I just want to add that to it if there's any PUBG gods listening into what we're talking about. But of course, I'm not gonna get my hopes up because I've been disappointed every cast in that regard for the last 4.5 years.
Yeah, we can cast a curse, but usually it's only when we don't want to, unfortunately. So 64 players and all 16 teams in the lobby now for game number 2. Remember, you will be seeing 5 games today. And after all of that talk and hype and excitement, it looks like this circle is fairly ordinary from a team's point of view. BBL are going to be very happy with this. Team Liquid will be ecstatic. But generally speaking, most teams here, Toby, know what to do, and footballists are going to go via Severity.
You know what? I realized during last game when we were talking about who do we want in that first game in the beginning.
Oxi. Aqui,
as
ó.
much as
Safe total aqui, ó. Onde é que o outro de marco tá, ó? Aqui, ó. Fechou em gacta, puxou pra cá, ó. Puxou pra essa área aqui. É um dos dois. Um dos dois porada aberta aqui. Onde resgata o codiguinho, você vai no PUBG, né? Lá onde é que tá em cima no canto esquerdo, tá ligado? Tu vai lá em live, no símbolo da PCS. Aí tu clica em Pick and Challenge, né? Escolha lá dos coisa na segunda opção, depois de overview. Aí coloca lá DD Bônus Gift Code. Aí lá você resgata. Tem um limite, tá? Tem um limite para resgatar, tá? Talvez dê como excesso de limite, mas qualquer coisa tenta lá, mano. Muita gente pegou hoje de manhã, então assim, talvez consiga resgatar, tá ligado? Deixa eu só pegar aqui o drop. Resgatar o dropzinho que é GG, velho. I feel like hero. Bora. Ah, boa, mano. Boa demais. Deixa eu ver só que o meu OBS tá mutado. Não. Aí.
I mean, obviously, footballists, off of what we saw in the previous game, are either going to take a boat and sail to Primorsk.
Oh, yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Don't worry about that.
Or they could potentially, I mean, we'll laugh about it now, but there's a decent strategy in going over military base in these sort of circles.
Yes,
there is
for sure.
a good chance.
Caramba, eu fiz o café muito forte. Isso vai me dar um treco, velho.
But as you were saying as well, because the plane path was all the way up towards North Forge, there's a very good likeliness that people aren't like didn't expect.
Vai lá, mano, vai lá, come alguma coisa. Não fica de estômago vazio, não, velho. Ei. Deixa eu ver lá o Discord como é que tá. Eu nem tinha dado merda, parei para o mar. Caramba, ossada, hein?
You should still have a pretty safe transition across the bridge itself.
I'm tempted to say we have seen FaZe Clan and Entropic both do that before. FaZe Clan being in Milter and Entropic being further east of them. So one of them could end up doing it. Na'Vi already in the fields basically waiting for the rest of their team to group up and move on now so they can head further west. BBL and Team Liquid, they're jostling for position at the moment because they had the best position to start off with. So they're really just scouting out which compounds have someone and which don't. They will have first pick of what's going on in this circle.
Liquid, pearls on a string. No one's joined with one another, at least not for now. Skate in the meantime, split out as well, but as you can see him, Pixley coming down to join the rest of the team. Gemty still all the way up by runes, but he'll get there eventually, I hope anyway. Still a bit of a journey ahead of him, but unless if he really times it unfortunate and goes straight into Team Rage, he should have a pretty clear cut rotation down to his teammates.
I think so. Team Rage are probably looking to backfill Liquid in Pachinki, if I'm honest. I think as a first port of call, I can
Caramba,
see West Pachinki and then moving forward. We've got Reg folks here now.
A porta pra mim do nada apareceu ali e deu um bug dos milênios ali, velho, porque não é possível. Não, mas, ô, velho, eu acho que cliparam, cara. Aquela Molotov lá, cara, eu tenho certeza que eles cliparam, velho. Porque não é possível, velho. Não tinha como tancar aquela Molotov lá, velho. Tá ligado? Não tinha, velho. Não tinha como não, mano. A Molotov caiu no pé do cara. Ele ficou queimando lá por uns 2 segundos, tá ligado? Saiu pegando fogo e tancou o Molotov, cara. Mano,
That
que lógica que é essa, tá ligado?
would have been Liquid making their way over that hillside to cause those shells to be fired in the first place. So let's just stick around and hope the next circle comes our way.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so Entropic are going to be the team that do go south to Military Island and come back up via the West Bridge. So I'm glad someone did. FaZe kind of opted to stay north, and we're on board with Footballist at the moment. They are not going full north. They're actually south of prison. So more or less taking a beeline into circle here. What they're doing is just going
O bagulho é
30
louco,
minutes
velho.
later than the other team. So not doing that wide rotation here in game number 2.
This time around, at least not yet. Thunder in the meantime. Trying to see what info they can gather. Hopefully they've gathered the info that they have Liquid players all around them. You can see Clip with the bolt in hand there. Looking in the direction of Thunder. Of course, a little difficult to get a proper angle with the way that the terrain is laid out. And Sakura Sands in the meantime, rotating just over the Yas Bridge, realizing now they have a team rotating on their side just north of them. You can just exactly see them there on your screen. RTG making the rotation on in as well. Salik taking damage, but will have some cover to get the back on.
Ruin here, just wanting everyone to just look. Just
Olha o pedágio. Meu Deus, não atira, velho. Tu tá solo ali, velho. Não me faça essa bobeira. Não me faça essa bobeira, cara. Você vai ser mutilado ali solo, velho. Tá ligado? Mutilado, velho. A Hole. A Hole é um time novo, mano. Quem entrou conseguiu classificar, tá ligado? Tem bastante jogadores novos no time, tá ligado? Tem time novo, tem jogador antigo, sabe? Tem um monte de coisa, velho. Um monte de coisa. Então, assim, cara, eles estão. Tem jogador que tá aprendendo a jogar PCS. Cara, tem muita coisa acontecendo, velho, nessa PCS, velho, sabe? Que nem o time da Futebolist, ó, Glutone, Odunavist, Nailkop. Cara, eu nunca vi esses caras, tá ligado? Cheguei a ver em Qualify da Turquia, se eu não me engano, tá ligado? Qualify da Turquia eu cheguei a ver. E deu ruim, Gustavo. Mas, meu Deus!
Slightly unfortunate mishap that you don't want caught on camera.
Caralho, maluco.
And of course we do. That's the thing. I mean, if you're ever a player and you do something and you go, oh, I hope that wasn't shown on camera.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Most of the time, if not always, it's gonna be shown.
Exactly.
Hey.
It's the law of PUBG, right? It's gonna happen. Like at some point, we're gonna see some hilarity. Right now, though,
O Thunder não viu, velho.
serious for double. He's managed to successfully spot a member of Team Liquid down below its clip, but he doesn't know how many players are there. So all he has at the moment is that compound is taken. He's decided that's enough for him. Let's rejoin my team. Let's not get knocked out here, because if I do, I'm not getting rezzed.
The issue is I'm not sure that Clip saw double peek on over. So that's one of those, okay, I heard shots go up the hillside to where there could be an opponent.
Yeah.
Because when is enough? Like when do you say I'm not gonna stay in this split anymore? Because look at Liquid, they have in this very center of the circle,
Wow.
Bard is on his own, Team's on his own, and Clipper makes you somewhat together, but still reach their compound. You're gonna reach a point
Caramba, mano.
when you want.
Opa, tem uma AUG. Cara, olha só que splitada que tá a Team Liquid, cara. A Team Liquid tá extremamente splitada, velho. O James tá lá num ponto, o Vard tá lá no outro. Eu não cheguei a ver a Team Liquid jogando dessa forma nos outros PCS, cara. Sempre, tipo, os caras tudo quase junto e tal. Algumas vezes splitava, mas assim, não era um split tão gigante como fizeram. E opa! Espero pegou o Instinct aqui. E, cara, a Team Liquid literalmente mudou o jogo total. Se continuar jogando bem, como jogou a primeira partida, cara, eles estão com 18 kills, velho. Tá ligado? 18 kills da partida anterior, velho. Perdão. 12 kills. Eu confundi aqui. Lá na Europa tá kills, aí depois pontos. Então, assim, eles estão com 12 kills, velho, da outra partida, mais o placement, cara. Pô, deu muito... Tá com muito ponto, velho. Tá ligado? Tá com muito ponto. E olha só. Olha lá, não falei, ó. Gata sempre puxa ou pra cá ou pra cá. Por quê? Porque aqui é full aberto e aqui é full aberto. Então, assim, a gente tem duas opções de save, tá ligado? Tu pode jogar do Moro, tentar um cover do Moro, fazer alguma coisa assim. Mano, eu acho que o Vart não vai chegar vivo lá, velho. Ou jogar lá embaixo o time, assim, no compound, alguma coisa assim, e tentar segurar, tá ligado? Esse tipo de safe, ela sempre puxa pros abertos, cara. Sempre puxa, velho. Sempre.
Yeah, Slippy Zerg, I think having one of the tires taken out on that new as
Meio.
so just struggling to make it past the next bit of cover. That's metabolic boost gone for Slippy Zerg. He's gonna have to rest up there and focus on holding up, getting the meds down, and hoping they don't come after him. There's just one problem though. Northern Lights, not content with that. They want the kill.
And that's the thing. We talked about how Northern Lights don't want to fight early, but I mean, if you serve it on a platter, they saw there was just one guy in that vehicle. They're not going to just back off of this. They are going to swarm around. They're going to do exactly what we're seeing here. Eliminate all risk of taking casualties. Spread out, take full control, push in a way that you can always trade a knock if someone goes down. Espero coming in right behind Lou. They know exactly how to go about this. As I say that, let's see what's going to
Opa!
happen.
Pegou, hein?
Headshot comes through, double headshot at that. Espero taking out in the second, solid spray coming through from Slippy, committing to it. And with the repeat from
No!
Espero, he's going to go
Não, Lu, não, Lu.
the timing, Lou threw that molly. Lou threw that molly inside, but because the nade exploded out.
Meu Deus, que molotov mal feita, velho.
Him go down. That was incredibly coincidental timing, but it worked out perfectly for Slippy.
Oh, that is absolutely horrible, and Slippy Zerg lives to fight another day. Unfortunately, getting caught out from behind by Petulins, but he does have a little bit of wiggle room to heal. Lou closing the door, helping him out a little bit with that cover, but Petulins
Nossa, velho.
far. That's Slippy Zerg down and out.
O Lu, mano, o Lu jogou muito mal ali agora.
Let's hold for a second as we see here Navi and RTG going up close to one another.
Não, e olha só que engraçado, né? A Molotov estoura na janela, pega a parte no chão, né? E, mano, dá um damage do caralho no jogador, né? Aí o outro cara, tipo, toma a Molotov na cabeça, passa por cima dela, sai do quarto lá e simplesmente fica de boa. Tipo, como assim, tá ligado?
Road to glory there. What they want is they want the first headshot from someone peeking over the ridge and being just a little bit too aggressive with their positioning so that Salak can maybe come in and get that first knock. But Na'Vi are being very patient here. Na'Vi, one of the most aggressive teams in the lobby, but once they start the engagement, they like to pick their timing very meticulously and for very good reason as well. They won't know just how good that nade was. Melman taking 50 damage, and it looks like both sides here, at least for now, we're going to back off.
I was just going to say, I don't necessarily mind the disengage here. I mean, there's no way that either team can get the proper intel they need on the other side of the hill, and they know as soon as you peek on over, there's a good chance there's going to be a player that flanked you when you tried to flank him. So back off, get into a better position. No reason to fight for something that's, I was just going to say, not going to be inside the next circle anyway. And as you can see here, it won't be.
Ó, dois campos abertos. Tá ligado? Dois campos abertos. E vai puxando, vai puxando, vai puxando. Não vai puxar pra esse muro aqui. Ela puxa agora pra cima. Ela literalmente, essa você vai puxar total full pra cima, puxando pra Garta, tá ligado? E vai fechar aqui. Oh, meu Deus do céu. Deu um AVC no Daci.
So slow, so smart in the early game is because they really want to have 4 alive in the late game. They know how dangerous they are when they have that. And I don't want to say it's a mistake, because it's just incredibly unfortunate coincidence that the molly gets exploded by the nade there.
Nossa!
It's really something you don't want to see happen. In the meantime, QB finds 2 in the drive-by, Nail up finds 1 as well. Skate getting killed by vehicles, but it's going to be the people in the cars taking them out. And in a matter of a split second, it's Chubik drives on by and takes down the entirety of Skate. In the meantime, Tuster takes down BNR, trying to do the exact same thing.
This is what happens
Caramba,
when
tio.
4 or 5 teams wanting to take somewhere prio, center of circle, as quickly as possible. All of these teams think they're fast enough to get there first. There are bound to be disagreements. Sakura's Ensign and Ents now controlling this compound. Just 1 from Sakura's Ensign inside, but the rest of them on the outside. In the meanwhile, we've got FaZe Clan and Gustav managing to get Apocalypse here. Let's see if Metabay can come back. They can't. Regnum Kaya eliminated in 15th, but it is not the end of the story for FaZe Clan, because they're getting third party. It's Entropic with more kills.
Only so many compounds available in this circle, therefore a few teams having to kind of commit to the forest, and even then, I mean, there's not a whole lot of places you can sit where there's not going to be someone getting an angle on you. So unfortunately, for FaZe, they will lose 2 in that 8C. Fail early. Now they lose 1 more. And in the meantime, well, I think they're at a point now where they have to just kind of accept that they've got someone, or a roommate, I should say. They don't seem like they're too willing to push out against that one, that's for sure. There could be a shotgun sitting and waiting inside the next building, so don't want to take chances on that one. In the meantime, Saldig as well. Well, he's inside the circle. How far are Navi going to rotate on this one?
We've done well so far, Toby, to avoid the endgame shotgun fest. I feel like
True.
we're tempting it back into existence as early as game number 2 here.
Yeah.
So we see FaZe Clan here taking a look at Hal, your picture-in-picture. We've got Northern Lights just rezzing one of their team inside chopsticks. A
Palácio.
disgusting insta-headshot from Salik onto Alia. Over 1,000 damage in that first game, Tony.
Caralho, o cara não era tiro, hein? O cara é um deus. Porra.
Essentially, let's call him out. The best sniper in the game as far as the stats are concerned. Would be huge for him. Navi doubling down, saying, we're going to bring the cars. We're making this position a fortress. What are you going to do about it? And that also means Salik now knows if they get the res off, it's going to be a 2v1 aiming at him, so he won't have such an easy time.
Could become a 4v1 as well.
Agora sabe.
Starting their rotation in the meantime now. Mission is saving.
Olha lá, velho. Vai fechar pra montanha. Não.
One up here right now.
Não. A Safe está me trollando, porque não é possível. Eu falei que ia fechar pra cá e não pra montanha. Puxou pra montanha, velho. Vai fechar na montanha. Meu Deus, eu não creio. Ah, não, velho. Tá me trollando.
Navi Fex in the meantime finds a double. Solid shoot from him. Takes out the entirety.
Oh no.
The pusher was coming towards Halter. Only Tuster left alive, and somehow actually Salik, despite being a solo player, manages to force Navi to go the other way.
I don't know what happened there, but Quizzy knocked Alia with a vehicle, and then Alia bled out in the blue. I have absolutely no clue why or how that happened, but that's super unfortunate, especially after risking his life to get that res as well. So that's 1 down for Navi. Make that a second as Gluttony manages to take down Melman. Footballist, remember, they were quietly moving in from the east earlier on. Now they've got a compound that's just outside circle, but in an excellent position to gatekeep Navi, so we have to keep an eye on them in the next couple of minutes.
Being contained here by the solo players. Tuster now lobbing nades down in their direction too. Vex peeks on around, but Salik didn't get anything more with it. Not quite sure. Salik now in the meantime comes through the forward. He really wants to take this fight to Navi. There is no fear in this man, unfortunately.
Caralho, o cara é...
Take him down. Millman does follow to Lyron, but seeing all the footballers being up inside the compound.
O cara é um deus, velho. Você viu, mano?
Now example, he's a little bit isolated while the rest is coming in, and the 2 remaining baseline players are making a push forward.
Gustav spots example, and that's useful because Vex is coming in on the ground. He's going to know the nearest player to you is down. You can focus on the 2 behind the rock. Those are the comms that FaZe Clan will be mentioning right now. Navi are in a world of trouble because they have to move a very long way to make it into circle. Even if they dodge these next shots, FaZe Clan could literally go prone and come back up 20 seconds later, and Navi would still be in a rough spot right now because they can't use their vehicles to get in.
Good read from Gustav. Spider senses tinkle, and he says, you know what, I don't think we can sit on our own up here for much longer. There was an entire team in the compound before, and this is exactly what happened. They push on forward. Now, FaZe managed to regroup, at least the 2 players remaining alive, and Navi, seeing FaZe Clan back off, probably realizing now there's a 3rd team that joined the party.
Football is now only Gluttony out in the blue, or will be out in the blue, I should say. The rest of the squad have managed to find a hill just inside. The rest of Navi, though, very close to Lyron here. And I think Lyron knows that they're there. I'm not sure Navi has spotted them. So this could be an excellent opportunity. He has to get the first knock. Okay, he doesn't. Someone else gets it, and that actually helps him just as much. Manages to pick up Quizzy, and that is Navi eliminated in 12th. Well played by Footballist.
These are the type of engagement footballers want to have, because we saw it during the G-Loot Season 5 finals and other tournaments, or Season 5 and other tournaments that they've played, that they're not the best up-close fighting team, but when they get these third-party opportunities and they kind of stab people in the back the way they did just there, that's what they want to do, and that's what they just did here successfully.
And now Northern Lights continuing this fight in and around Chopsticks. We've got Salty down, Nixie on the other side. Fantastic nade to start things off, and that's exactly the entry point that Northern Lights needed to try and eliminate Sakura's Ents, and Ents now wants a piece of the puzzle as well. If Northern Lights can heal up, they're in a great place to gatekeep Ents.
Eles podem pegar, smocar a frente da Ence, tá ligado? Smocar a frente da Ence, a Ence fica sem visão deles e eles puxam, tá ligado? A BBL não vai conseguir dar tiro neles, tá ligado? Porque não tem pixel, então eles vão dar tiro na Ence, tá ligado? Eles vão dar tiro na Ence, velho. Então, assim, a Northern Lights tem como puxar, tá ligado? Pra cima, entendeu? Vamos ver o que que eles vão fazer se o câmera voltar lá daquela guerra lá. E o bug virou já era.
Flirting with the blue there as they move out. Hibako manages to get a little bit of damage done. And here comes the rest of the squad. Non-stop shooting. That car's going out in the blue. Tebow's not going to have a good time. Everyone else is already dead. And he has to find a way to crawl into circle. This
Meu Deus,
started
velho.
out as being really smart on paper, but it's fast becoming a nightmare for the heroic boys.
Yeah, not a whole lot of
Calma, Perfect Kiss. Vai com calma, meu querido. Ai, velho, por que que tu foi finalizar?
So damage coming in both ways, but Toolens and Lou trying to hold off on their own. But this ain't gonna be an easy one. They have teams up.
Olha que bela ganha do Batulins. Matou o Nock.
Nicely done there by Batulins. Knew exactly where Nookie was. Chucked the Molotov. Instantly had the gun ready. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. Footballist eliminated just outside of the placement points, frustratingly. FaZe Clan managed to get that, but getting knocked in turn by Vard, who finishes them off with a headshot.
For a while now is when they're up to make the push and out. And the good thing is, I mean, everyone who's still in this forest area has been fighting for quite a while. And you can see he obviously FaZe been down to just one player now. Everyone's been bleeding while fighting. So Liquid not really having had to engage in a whole lot of fights earlier will be coming into this with all the utility and Kevlar helmets needed to win fights.
Big problem now for Northern Lights. They were in a position where they might have been able to gatekeep Ents, I think it was there. But really, it's BBL and Entropic.
Are they going to deny?
I think they might have to. I think they're denying and maybe pooling meds to see how long they can survive, which is unfortunate.
Vai fazer 5, velho.
25 for life. They're not giving this away. I mean, it's a 30-game tournament. You know how much those 1 or 2 points can make of a difference. They're not going to give this away. 24 alive. I mean, probably hoping for better than 8, but that's what it's going to be. Should they go down now?
Acabou a Perfect Kiss e o Lu Moreiro já era Northern Lights na 7ª posição. Não? Não, ainda tá. Cara, pra vocês terem ideia, os caras no segundo game do campeonato da Europa, os caras estão dando ponto, cara, pro pessoal não pegar ponto, velho. Mano, o segundo game, velho. Tá ligado? O segundo game, velho. Os caras estão literalmente dando ponto, velho.
Looking around like, where the hell did the last NLT player go? Like, how is he not dead? He must have snuck in somehow. Like, they're all panicking, thinking, did we miss him? Did he actually manage to make his way past us at some point?
That's when you can sneak in, right?
Once
they start thinking that, maybe.
Tô com o meu nariz. Tá uma desgraça.
Making his way inside the house, and here he comes, full speed forward, but Tulin's trying to make his way on in. Circle's gonna start closing in once again. 10 bandages is all he has to work with, but at least for now he's inside circle only for the next couple of seconds though, because it's already started closing on in, and there's 3 BBL players who are still holding angles here. Now T-Bone is gonna be spotted on the edge of the circle. Let's see if the run for the buddy was worth it for Batulins. It will be.
That's it. And look, all of that effort was
pegaram o sexto, velho.
Northern Lights eliminated in 6th place, but that team played to keep Batulins alive, literally getting that point by a second or 2 from T-Bone. So these are the kind of margins that we're talking about here in some of the world's strongest tournaments for PUBG. This is PCS6, and so much is on the line for these teams. I love to see it. It really, really well earned, that last point.
BBL now having, I don't say having had to, but having decided to keep their focus on Northern Lights, and understandably so, having to make the vehicle plays. Now the issue is, while having focused north instead of trying to kind of secure some land on the southern side of the road, everyone else has gotten into position to kind of hold them off. So what they can really hope for here, BBL, is that Team Rage and Thunder starts fighting, which could potentially allow for them to make the push up.
Mano, nossa, eu tenho que vazar, peraí.
Oh, as I say that though.
Oh, Micah just moving back a little bit, but unfortunately 2 of the team are already down. Team Rage here shooting uphill from that little dip that they're in. Honestly, that was quite difficult to get that double kill there. It's now only Micah and Double left. What can Thunder do? Team Rage, they also need to consolidate. They need to try and get some reses. They're actually quite lucky that there isn't a third party taking a look at where they are in that ball.
I did not expect for there to be Thunder going down that fast and that one Double. Able to take down Clip. It's going to lob a nade on forward. It's going to be Vard. Fortunately for Double, able to dodge that one. But only 2 players left now on their team. I think they thought they had it completely dialed in how to deal with Rage there. But with BBL engaging on them as well, just unfortunate timing in that engagement for them. And now BBL forced to make the run on through. We'll see. Can they cross the road? They do have the smokes to do so, but we'll see how far they get.
How is Team Rage still being so aggressive here? I'm impressed with them. They've got BBL off to the north. They have Thunder off to their west. They are absolutely not letting up at all. Big potential nade coming in. It's underarm. Does it get Laza? Not quite. A little bit too
Bora,
short,
perdi muita coisa, velho.
Let's see how Team Rage responds.
All the utility being used, so you can see Liquid. They want to make sure on the back end of this that no one's going to be able to wrap in towards them. They want to be they kind of swoop around on that side of the circle, and that's exactly how they're going to try and utilize their push on through Code Marco. Now, in the meantime, solo player left alive, try to stay alive, see if maybe he can find a kill point somewhere. But the circle is now going to force him to make the run on forward. And the issue is all the
Ele perdeu o time da smoke. Ele devia ter avançado e se colocado na árvore, velho. Se colocado perto de uma árvore, aproveitado a trocação e a smoke, se colocado numa árvore ali, velho. Dava time, velho. Dava time sim pra chegar lá, velho. Tá ligado? Literalmente, mano. Entendeu? Era muito time ali trocando, velho. Os caras não iam nem perceber ele, tá ligado? Se pá, velho. E aí ele conseguiria avançar e talvez pegar uma kill ou 2 ali. Jogava uma smoke do lado da árvore e ficava ali, velho. Aproveitava, tipo, a trocação entre os times e GG. E olha a Team Liquid chegando na finaleira, ó. 3x3, mano. 3x3, velho. Eles vão dar tempo pra healar o cara, me... Faltou leitura de game aí.
That could end up being pivotal here. Imagine a hard shift away from them, just having that extra cover, or, you know, extra time that they're able to use not being in the open could end up being useful. It depends on what the circle does here. Let's find out. Remember, Entropic do have the player advantage. They're in a 2-2 split.
Vamos, Team Liquid. Vamos, mano. Ganha esse game aí, velho.
Down to 3, so that's what they have to play with.
Bom, Entropic tá com 13 kills. Ah, uma info. Uma info sobre a Entropic. A Entropic tinha 2 caras que na Qualify, tá? Os caras, literalmente, mano, tomaram permaban, velho. A conta, tá ligado? Os caras literalmente tomaram alguns permaban. Tinha 2 caras que era literalmente do time da Entropic, eu lembro disso até hoje. E os caras literalmente tomaram permaban, velho. Por que eu não sei. Só sei que literalmente tomaram permaban. Não tem como afirmar se foi uso de hack ou alguma outra porcaria. Mas literalmente, 2 caras postaram até, se não me engano, no Twitter e tal. Os próprios jogadores postaram, tá ligado? Que eles tinham levado permaban. Só agora eu não lembro do que era. Daí mudaram a lane inteira, mano. Aí entrou o Nailup, entrou o Kobe, tá ligado? Se não me engano, o Ivas veio do outro time. E o Lucarux, se eu não me engano, ele já era da Entropic. Porque nas Qualify, ele estava com outro time, se eu não me engano. Antes dessa PCS. Isso aconteceu muito antes dessa PCS. What the fuck? Onde é que ele acertou esse tiro? Opa! Ah, já era, Tinix.
Once again inside the vehicle, Mix is gonna go down here as well. 3v1 Liquid. Can't seem to close it on
Cara,
this one, obviously.
o que a Team Liquid tá fazendo, velho?
in total.